Hello, my name is Thea. I'm a visibility advisor for introverts, and what that means is I help introverts show up online authentically and without all the overwhelm, which, can happen pretty easily. So this is one of a series of videos of me critiquing someone's social media presence, and I did want to point out that this person signed up to be critiqued. Alright, here is Kyle's account. And Kyle said the aim of his Twitter account is to get 10,000 followers and also to gain a fan base for his music. So, let's get started. Kyle, first thought is I like the fact that you have a music-related image in this top header photo here. I also like the fact that you have a photo of yourself as your profile photo here. Or at least I'm assuming it's you. A lot of the introverts I found have a logo as a profile image, and a logo makes it hard for people to feel a connection to you, right? So I love the fact that you have a photo here. Next up, your bio. So I would actually take out the word aspiring. The reason for this is because if you want to gain a fan base for your music, a good next step is to declare that you are a musician and that you should have a fan base, right? Because the word aspiring doesn't really support the fact that you are a musician. Now, you might have put aspiring because you don't have a full album out and you're not represented by a label or anything like that. But if you're making music, then you're a musician. So just a little tangent here, a story. When I was studying to be a life coach, in one of the classes, a student asked the teacher, "So, how many clients do we need to have before we can start calling ourselves a life coach?" And the teacher answered, "You become a life coach when you start calling yourself a life coach." So, Kyle, you become a musician when you start calling yourself a musician. Okay, so moving on from that, I did notice that you don't have any links right here. I do suggest that you link to your SoundCloud or whatever you have account so that people can actually access your music. The reason for this is because if there's someone new to your account and who's checking out your account for the first time, they won't know if they're a fan of your music or not right away because they won't be able to hear it, right? So even if you periodically do post links to your music, people on the internet are really lazy. So you might want to make it as easy for them to check out your music as possible, which is why you should post a link to your music right here. So just scrolling through your tweets here. Use a lot of hashtags, which is good. Maybe a little bit excessively using hashtags, but it's no problem. Hashtags do kind of take away from the idea of having conversation, but, it's totally fine. I wouldn't actually change anything you're doing at the moment. Well, except for different. People don't really search for the hashtag different there, so you can take that out and it'll seem more conversational. Okay, so one thing I noticed right here is that you're mainly doing retweeting of other people's content, and then you're adding your own commentary. And I do like this approach, right? You're supporting people and getting on an influencer's radar while at the same time creating some of your own thoughts and observations, right? So supporting influencers is a really smart approach. And that's partially how I grew my Twitter followers. And you're certainly on my radar, Kyle, because you respond to quite a few of my stuff. So I like the fact that you do use this approach. However, if you really want to grow your followers, I would love to see some original content of your own, because that way you're telling people that you're not just curating other people's content like this, but that you have your own original points of view on the world, and that's why they should follow you versus just following all the people you're retweeting separately, right? So curating content, great idea, but if you want people to follow you and listen to your music, if you post your own content, original content, they'll be more likely to see you as someone who is influential. So please do occasionally write your own original posts. So some original posts that you can make, it could be a question like, what's your favorite song? It could be just you talking about your favorite song when you were 18 during the summer or something like that. You could talk about your thoughts about a newly published song by a famous artist. Something else is you could talk about why you became a musician, why music is important to you. Just start creating your own unique content so that people can kind of get to know you a little more. So in other words, create original tweets that show that you are someone to follow because you have a point of view that they can't access and find anywhere else. I also notice here that you don't have any links to your own music, so please do start tweeting your own music on your Twitter account if you want to be known as a musician. Now, the ratio of promotional tweets to non-promotional tweets is totally up to you, but you might want to start out with, say, 1 promotional tweet for every 10 other tweets. Now, there are a lot of different theories out there about what the proportion of normal posts to self-promotional tweets should be, but I like the golden ratio, which is 10% promotional, 30% content by you, and 60% curated. So just in case you don't know what curated means, that's retweets basically, links and things that other people have done. So I'd include retweets with commentary to the idea of curated tweets. Now, you don't have to do the golden ratio right off the bat if you're not used to self-promotional tweets. Totally okay to just do very few of them occasionally and then work your way up. But I do suggest you post your promotional tweets a little more. So thank you so much for raising your hand for this critique, Kyle, and I hope you gained something from this. Bye, everyone.